else is new.
All right, I have two computers open to see if it's actually streaming.
What do people wear to a dinner party? Do you like dress up or no?
Oh, it is live. We are live on YouTube, guys. We're live. Very funny because we're talking about dinner parties. But hey, all right. Hang on. There's an echo. Okay, now we're good. I think. All right. If anyone's watching, you get to deal with the technical difficulties. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first ever live preview show of No Names All Game. My name is Chris Hank, and I am your host, joined as always by my co-host Pat Colicchio, and we have a ragtag group of misfits joining us this week to give their expert opinions. We got Tony, Brandon, Alex, familiar faces, friends of the program. Let's start with Alex, gentlemen. How you doing today? How you feeling?
Oh, wonderful. I'm ready for Saturday.
We're back. Brandon, how you doing, man?
I'm ready. This is it. This is what I've been waiting for. This is what I've been training for. I'm ready.
Pat, how are things?
Feeling pretty good. You know, we got the season finally happening, so we had to bring on the guys who actually know a lot more about football than us.
That's the plan. Tony, how you doing, man? Bay Area background. How we doing?
I feel great. I can't wait to drink and watch this game this weekend.
Hell yeah!
So watching these. Love that. These last few weeks watching other conferences play has been brutal.
It really has. It's been so much fun that college football has been back, but obviously we've been yearning for our team. We currently have one viewer watching this, which is me on another laptop, but we're gonna try this out. This is live. This will be available for everyone to watch for the next couple of days, get you excited about the game, and also available on podcasts. So week one, Indiana is here. I'll go over a little bit of a preview about Indiana, who they are, what to look for. We're going to go around the horn. One thing that you are watching for in this game that you think is going to be super important, a key to victory, what's going to give us that edge to win. Don't be surprised if that's your bold prediction. I made the same exact one every week last year, and I don't think it ever hit, so I'm going to start with that one again. And then we'll do some final predictions. So Penn State travels to Indiana. 6.5 point favorite. Most books, some have it as a 5.5, which is ridiculous. We'll get to that later. Over under is 59. Obviously a lot of change this year. We'll talk about Journey Brown. We'll get to that in a minute. Sad stuff. But Indiana comes in. They're 8-5 last year. Couple returning guys. You got Michael Penix Jr. Beat reporters commonly type in penis instead of Penix. That's funny. He had 1,400 yards, 10 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions in 6 games last year. Whop Philyor, leading receiver coming back, 1,000-yard receiver, 5 touchdowns, and Stevie Scott, returning running back, 845 yards and 10 touchdowns. So they have some experience. They have some depth. Obviously, we're all excited. So let's start with the what to watch for. We'll give a little bit of more time on this one as we're getting in there. I will try not to mute you guys. I will try not to buzz anyone. But let's go with the what to watch for. What are you looking for in this game that's going to give us the edge? Pat, kick us off. What are you watching for?
I would say watch for how well our cornerbacks tackle, especially in open space. Indiana does not they're not a big play team. It's a lot of short routes, trying to get like a guy like Whop Philyor in space to break a tackle and make it a big gain. But it's first game of the season. We don't have any tune-up games. Sometimes tackling isn't there right away, but if we have that going for us, I think we can really, really mitigate this Indiana offense.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see how hot we come out. There is no out of conference, no cupcakes to start. Indiana's given us some decent run the last 2 years. I'll comment on that as well. But Brandon, what are you watching for?
Well, I'm watching for 2 things. On offense, of course, Will Fries. I think that he will make or break the start of Cliff's season. If he can solidify that right tackle spot, I think we'll be good. On defense, Jaquan Brisker. If I need him step up in pass coverage. I think he's got it. He was there. He was 1 or 2 steps late last year, so I'm ready for this. I think this is the year. 9-0, baby.
You and Pat could be best friends on your O-line love hate. Will Fries, what's your prediction? I mean, on our season preview prediction, and I'll give you guys some opportunity for that too. On our season preview prediction, my bold prediction was that at some point this year, Caden Wallace does replace Will Fries. Not a knock on Will. I just think Caden's going to be that good. What's your comfort level there, Brandon? Do you think Will Fries is the guy, or does he get more work at guard?
He's a guy. I think he's technically sound. I think his feet aren't fast enough. He can't get this drop step back fast enough. So He worked on his footwork this offseason. He's there. He's our guy. If not, I think we'll find out really quickly.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I hope he is. Like I said, I don't have anything against him. I'm just really excited for Caden Wallace because I think he's going to be great. Alex, what are you watching for?
I'm watching for Brandon to call out Will Fries after one missed pass block. Because Will Fries is the new Trace McSorley. Every time he makes one bad play, we're going to be calling for the backup from Brandon.
Brandon was a big hater.
Yeah. Anywho, no, but what I'm looking for is the tight end matchup, actually. I think that most people don't realize that the top returning tight end from last year in terms of most yards is actually on the other team. Peyton Hendershot had more yards than any other returning tight end from the Big Ten. And Pat Freiermuth was number 2. So, I mean, obviously Pat Freiermuth gets all the headlines and he's probably the better prospect. But Peyton Hendershot's no slouch of his own, and it'll be interesting to see who wins that matchup.
Yeah, I'm going to put him on the first team all-name team, Peyton Hendershot. That's a great name. If football doesn't work out, I feel like he could be like a C-list actor. Like he's not up there, but he could be middle of.
Well, speaking of good football names, I mean, Walt Fillier is about as good.
Walt Fillier, Stevie Scott. They got a lot of good names. Okay, yeah. My panic meter is going up. They have a lot of good names.
Yeah, exactly. They have some good names.
Tony, what are you watching for?
So I looked up the last year's game versus Indiana, and they threw all over us, and to like 371 yards, and not just like garbage time. I think he was completing like 80% of his passes. So I'm very concerned, considering that was our weakness all last year. I know up front we're going to get pressure. I doubt they probably won't be able to run on us, but just the fact that like their offense is probably better than it was last year, because they're all returning and coming back. I feel like that's like a slept-on storyline, is the fact that we didn't blow them out last year. We put up a lot of points, but they also put up a lot of points, and they threw like up and down the field on us. So I'm kind of concerned that for the first game of the season, I don't want to feel that way again. When what was the score? What was it? 34-27. Like it's not too great, you know. And really after that first quarter that we had, we didn't really do much else for the rest of the game. So it'll be very interesting to see how that all shakes out.
We fixed that.
How do we fix that? What is the fix?
New offensive coordinator with more than 2 years of experience. I think we can get through some defensive
you're talking about
offensively.
Offensively.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point. So the point for this round was gonna go to Alex, that Peyton Hendershot poll, but Tony gets the point because that's actually my what to watch for as well. So I can't give a point to myself. Tony, you're gonna get the point for this round. I agree. Their passing offense versus our DBs. I think it was Ramsey against us last year too, right? Penix wasn't playing.
Yeah, he was out by then.
I think, right? And Ramsey's at
Northwestern, yeah.
Yeah, so obviously we'll have to see how Penix goes, but yeah, I think the same. I mean, it seems like we've talked about our DBs far too often in pass coverage. I have like nightmares going back to even like just not being able to shut down a top receiver. Like it was a couple of years ago, I think. Was it Amani up against Michigan State? That game was it Felton Davis? Is that his name? Felton something? I don't remember, but like couldn't shut him down. Like, I don't know. I have these like nightmares and these horror stories of like not being able to shut down top receivers. And I want to see that.
And our starting quarterback playing his first ever game.
Yeah, so we got Joey Porter Jr. out there opposite TCF.
First ever game.
What the hell happened, man? What the hell happened?
Dude, your boy Keaton Ellis, Alex. What do you think about that?
Oh man, I mean, I'm a big Joey Porter Jr. guy, but I thought Keaton Ellis was ready. I mean, I thought Joey Porter Jr. was a year away still, and I thought Keaton Ellis was going to take over that opposite side. I guess not.
Is he?
Go ahead, Tony.
Is he? Wait, is that me? Oh, sorry. Is Keaton Ellis? But they said he's going to play a lot, right?
Yeah, I think he's going to rotate in with Joey Porter Jr. Depending on. I don't think that means he's going to play in the slot. I just think it means he's going to rotate in with Joey Porter outside.
Yeah, so it's listed with Keaton backing up Joey Porter and then Marquise Wilson backing up Tariq Castro-Fields. One of you guys said it the other day, there's no star position on the depth chart this year. I know Lamont Wade occupied that a lot, but it seems like with
it's actually the lion position.
Yeah, but it seems like with the depth
There's no
of
Tommy.
cornerbacks that we have now, like the slot corner should be Marquise
Yeah.
or Keaton as that third guy.
Yes, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see who they line up, if they're going to line up Marquise Wilson in the slot, or if they're going to put. I don't know who they're going to put in the slot. Or if
Wade, who was last year.
Yeah, I mean, I know Wade can come down, but then you just have one safety up top. Like, what if you want to run two safeties? I don't know.
No, you just play three safeties on the
Off
field.
I know that takes linebackers off the field, which you don't like, but.
No, the star position was Wade because Wade played really well in it last year. I think they'll continue with that. It'd be interesting to see who they rotate in. I think Rudolph. I think he's going to be rotated in, maybe as a third safety on passing downs. That would make a lot of sense. But
Rudolph's
before they put in like a Marcus or Keaton Ellis in the slot. Like, do you think they bring in if they want to have 5 DBs, do they bring in an extra safety, or do they bring in one of the corners?
I have no idea. Yeah, I would think that too, but I think Wade is so interchangeable. It'd be interesting to see what they do.
You could drop Wade down and put Rudolph at safety, or you could bring in Wilson or Ellis and put him at the slot.
Yeah, I think having Wilson on the field is more advantageous than bringing in another safety. Because if you look at safety,
Marquise Wilson.
We have more depth at cornerback right now.
I'm a huge Marquise Wilson stan. I agree, Pat. We have more depth. But yeah, the safety depth chart. I mean, behind.
You got Jonathan Sutherland out there too.
It goes Sutherland, Jair Brown are the backups, and then Rudolph and Gordon. So I think if you're bringing in another safety, you're going to see Sutherland.
Alex, we don't bring in Sutherland on passing downs.
I know.
We do not bring him in on passing downs.
I'm not saying in passing downs. I just don't. I'm not a big Jonathan Sutherland fan at all in general.
All right, so we're all pretty much on the same page there. Go ahead, Tony. Sorry.
No, go ahead. Never mind. It's gonna spawn.
Last point. No, last point, and then we're moving on. I don't know what spawns.
Well, I don't know if this is like, it's not. It's like a kind of a general question for the season. So I don't know if you have a portion for that, and I'll save it for then.
All right, let's do it now. This will be the general question, and then we'll jump to our surprise ifs. Go for
it. Do we think that we're gonna have like a consistent, like, 100-yard type of receiver, like per game, or like pretty often, like getting there? Like,
all right, I changed my mind. I changed my mind. Let's save that because if that's someone's bold prediction, I don't want to ruin it. So we're going to come back to that after bold predictions.
Got you.
I love it. All right. Tony won the point. So Tony, you get to start. Don't be surprised if this is your chance to tell the people what they shouldn't be surprised when something crazy happens, that you knew it before they knew it.
Oh,
not prepared. I see.
Yeah, I'm not. I feel like I just don't. Well, because I would like it to be like kind of piggybacking what I just said, but I don't believe that it's gonna happen. So, I say don't be surprised if don't be surprised if, and this isn't really a hot take, but if Pat Freiermuth is our leading receiver of all Penn State players this year.
Yeah, no, I think that's fair. And look at that. You just segued into your own deeper question. So, receiver depth, obviously something we've talked about a lot. A little concerning. I think it's fair to say Pat could be the leading guy, should be the leading guy. Hopefully some of these young bucks step up, but time will tell. Pat, don't be surprised if.
Don't be surprised if at the beginning of the game we have trouble getting to the quarterback. Indiana's offensive line, I don't think, is very good. But I think their whole game plan is going to be just get the ball out really quickly, quick enough where you're really not going to get sacked. And unless we force them into a third and long, obvious passing situation, their whole game plan is to avoid any type of quarterback pressure.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I don't think their offensive line is that good, but they are big. I think their left tackle is like 360, something like that. Their offensive line averages like 315, 320. I'm making those numbers up. I think they're relatively close, but they got some big boys on the offensive line. So yeah, I'm excited.
Shout out to For the Bloggy though. I was reading their thing this morning, and they were saying last year when Penix was in, he was getting the ball out in like an average of 2 seconds.
Damn. Yeah, that makes it tough for our edge rushers, which is one of the strengths of our team. Alex, don't be surprised if.
Don't be surprised if Keaton Ellis is playing over Joey Porter Jr. at the end of the game in crunch time. I think I know that I'm probably higher on Keaton Ellis than I need to be. I don't know why. I just really like him. And like I said, Joey Porter Jr. hasn't played at all, and I think that they're going to try to line Watt Fillier up on the opposite side on Joey Porter Jr.'s side, and I think he may struggle. So I wouldn't be surprised if you see some Keaton Ellis at the end of the game in crunch time.
2 follow-up questions. You say crunch time. Do you mean crunch time or garbage time? Are you saying it's going to be a close game?
I think it's going to be. The last 2 years they have been one touchdown games.
They have been.
And this is the first game coming off of a weird offseason. I personally think that Michael Penix is the 3rd best quarterback in the Big Ten. I think he's better than Sean Clifford. As much as Sean Clifford to be good, I think Penix is better.
Will Levis is too.
So weird. Alex's connection is bad. We can't hear him.
Yeah, right. And I think Clifford has all the talent in the world, but I just think that Penix has been better.
So what's your rankings there? Fields 1, who's 2?
Tanner Morgan.
Oh, okay. You're buying the hype. You're saying that is Tanner, not just Kirk Shiraka, aka.
No, well, plus he's got Rashad Bateman. Plus with Rashad Bateman coming back, I think that's huge for him. So I would go him, and then I would go Penix. I mean, I think that second tier is Penix, Cone, or Clifford, and I think you can maybe rate them in any
Cone out for the season.
Cone is out.
Is he? Oh, I didn't know that.
He broke his foot or something.
Get on Twitter, Alex. You'll see this.
Yeah, I guess I got to get on Twitter. Well, then I think that who else are you going to put up there besides Penix or Clifford? I think that those are the two of the second tier behind. I mean, Fields is obviously on a level of his own, and then I still think I'm buying Tanner Morgan. I don't think it was just Kirk. Plus,
that's
Bateman was huge. So
I'm okay with that. Yeah. So your
I think Keaton Ellis. I think it will be like a 10-point game, and I think Keaton Ellis will be playing in the end of the game more than.
Okay, we'll get to official predictions in a minute. Because our corners, we don't track receivers, right? They just stay side.
No.
Yeah. Okay, that'll be interesting. See if Joey Porter Jr. can live up to the hype with Whop Philly or 1,000-yard receiver coming right at him. Brandon, don't be surprised if.
Don't be surprised if we hold them to 10 points or under. And I'm sitting here saying that our safeties are going to show up. I don't think people realize how bad our safeties were last year, how out of place they were, wrong reads, not over the top. They're ready this year. They're here to play. They have another year under their belt. We're ready to go.
My question for you is, do you think it's just experience and that's why they're ready? Because same defensive coordinator, same safeties. Is it just experience?
So reading the hype on Brisker coming out of junior college was that he never played. He was never a field safety. He played in the box a lot in junior college. Yeah. So with him playing in the box a lot, he didn't have much coverage skills, and that's where a lot of your big plays were last year. Were passed off to Brisker, supposed to be over the top, supposed to be helping out. So I'm gonna, and then Taylor was the other one. Was he a corner? He was a safety last year, wasn't he?
Yeah.
It was him and Wade.
Yeah.
But Brisker played a lot still.
No, that's because Wade dropped down to the star position. So going back on it, I do think that they're going to keep Wade and Brisker in this year. But yeah, I think we're here. I think on defense. Oh, my other prediction is don't be surprised if this is one of the fastest defenses you've seen. I really think we're here this year on defense. I don't know about offense.
I like it. Yeah, I mean, the defense, of course, you lose Micah Parsons, and we'll do a couple of those Micah journey topics right after. But I mean, you just hear about the freaks on this defense. Jason Owe should have a coming out party. You hear about Adisa Isaac. You hear about all these linebackers that I'm shocked none of you guys talked about the linebackers.
Yeah, I was going to be my second prediction was going to be don't be surprised if Lance Dixon gets 30-40% of the snaps.
Ooh, interesting.
I was going to say a sack, 30 to 40% of the snaps.
Yeah, but
and is he taking off the field?
Yeah. Who's he relieving? Who's he taking off the field?
I just think they're going to rotate between him and Brooks, Brooks and Lukete. They're going to rotate all of them around. I don't think they're stuck with necessarily Brooks in the middle and Lukete and Smith on the outside.
And Brandon Smith is just a stalwart.
Yeah, I think. Well, I hope. I mean, Brandon Smith's just that athletic freak that I hope pans out to be the stalwart. But
Okay. All right, let's do some topics after this. My don't be surprised if Pat is very familiar with this because I predicted it every game last year. Don't be surprised if there is a punt or kick return for a touchdown by your Penn State Nittany Lions. I need it injected into my veins.
Dotson's the punt?
Dotson's your punt returner. Devin Ford will be your kick
Ford, yeah.
returner. Speed.
Did we have one last year?
Hey, Dotson's not that fast.
I think
No,
we
but
had one that was called back, didn't we?
Yeah,
Yes,
we did.
Yeah, KJ had one.
So
that
we
was called
haven't-
back.
Hold on,
So we
Brisker.
haven't had one since like Saquon era. Is that like the last one we've had? Wow, what a time to be alive.
Thompson.
What a
I
time
think
to be
Thompson
alive.
may have done it.
Yeah, DeAndre Tompkins had one.
Tompkins, yeah.
1 year. I think it was against Pitt, maybe.
Basically,
but
it's not enough. That's what we're
it's not
going
enough.
for.
It's not enough. Joe Lorig has been our coordinator. Is this what, year 3 for him? I think, or year 2? I think maybe year 3. He's been, they preach special teams is the true third phase of the game. They put so much focus on it, so much emphasis on it. I need some returns for touchdowns. I think we've got the guys back there. I do like the depth chart on that too, because there are some. I mean, obviously, Journey was gonna be a big part of it if he was healthy. We'll get to that in a minute. But if you look at the return part on the depth chart, and I am stalling because I'm pulling up the depth chart. Let's go. Kick, return. Devin Ford, Lamont Wade is the second one, and then Parker Washington. And then punt return is Dotson number 1, Parker Washington number 2, and my guy Marquise Wilson number 3. So I like that they're mixing it up a little bit. I'll pose this question to you guys. Out of those people that I just named, Ford, Wade, Parker Washington, Dotson, Marquise Wilson, who do you think is most likely to take one to the house?
Devin Ford.
Pat with Ford. I like it. Tony, who do you pick?
I'm gonna go with Ford as well.
Okay, Brandon.
Parker Washington.
Love it. Alex, who you got?
Yeah, I would just say Ford just because I think a kick return is more likely than a punt return.
Yeah, and I think we're going to see some
Get
speed
the
out of
most
Ford.
opportunities.
Like obviously
Yeah.
Journey out is a big thing. We'll talk about that in a second, but I think we're going to see some surprising speed from Devin Ford. Very, very excited for him. All right, let's wrap up this preview and then we'll do some like post-show just bullshitting. Wrap up the preview with your prediction, your actual score prediction. Penn State is a 6.5-point favorite. Over under is 59. So hit me with your actual score. And then I'll hopefully do the quick math to determine if you're over under, but please be prepared and tell me as well. Exact score predictions. Pat, you are the host. I will let you go first. What is your prediction, sir?
All right, I'm going to go 35-13, which I believe comes in just on the under.
35-13. Yes. This is the Colicchio Classic. You're taking Penn State with the points and the under.
Right, baby.
That is 48. So you're coming in well under. You got 11 points to play with, but you have Penn State covering that 6.5 and quite easily. I like that. That's a good prediction. Let's enjoy that. Tony, what's your prediction?
Actually, have my prediction is 41-14.
Ooh, so you
I think
sir
we give
are
up.
also under, just under.
Yeah, I don't think we'll cover because because it's the first game of the season, and I don't think we're gonna. I don't know.
Hit the over.
I mean, yeah, hit the over. My bad.
We're definitely covering
cover
41-14.
cover the over. That's what I mean.
Not Clemson.
25 points.
I've never heard it
I
said that
think-
way, but we'll take it.
I think they're gonna score a couple early, and I think it's gonna look close. And then I think Penn State's just gonna start pulling away. Like once you make those adjustments, and once you get like that first half, the first game jitters back, they haven't played in so long. I think it'll look close, and then we're gonna turn it on. Second half team, baby. You know how it is.
Second half team. I feel like that's the identity of this team for the last 10 years that I've been watching. Quick shout out. We will keep the predictions in a minute. Quick shout out. We do have 5 people watching now. So there are 4 more on top of just my computer. And State09 says in the chat, yes, Parker. So Parker Washington fan. I imagine it's one of you with the
Or
burger,
maybe it's
but-
Parker Washington. We don't
Or
know.
maybe it's Parker Washington. So State09, we appreciate you
Confirmed,
watching.
unconfirmed.
Thank you. Shout out. All right, back to predictions. Brandon, what is your prediction? I also realize I haven't given everyone points in a while, so you'll all get a second at the end. Brandon, prediction.
51-13. We come out firing. New offense. We're Minnesota times 10. We're here. We're ready to play. Cliff's amazing. And Caden Wallace is at right tackle.
Damn. Okay, that's a big one.
We don't have a
That's-
single receiver like the receiver.
You don't need one in that
From
offense.
last year.
Did
You don't-
Brandon
you don't
just
need one in his
refute all
offense.
his points he made earlier with Will
Yes.
Fries being the anchor and don't
Oh, yes.
be surprised when we hold them to less than 10?
What do you mean? What do you mean? You don't need one with his offense. The offense was built on 2 of the best receivers in the Big Ten last year.
Are you looking at just the stats, or did you actually watch them play?
Earn alert.
He had two.
Boom, baby.
He had two of the top three. I mean, Tyler Johnson and Rashad Bateman are both first round. Rashad Bateman's predicted to go in the first round next year. How is that not a good receiver?
I'm letting you know his offense allows people to get open. I'm excited for his offense. Did you
His
watch the clip
offense
we
is
sent you?
predicated on the big play.
Did you watch the clip we sent you?
His offense.
So if that's the case,
running
then
the ball and going deep.
Beal, if that's the case, then you believe this year we're gonna have a consistent 100-yard receiver.
That's what I'm saying. He had two. No other team in the Big Ten. I don't even think any other team in the country had
Jahan
two.
Dotson will be a first-round pick, yes or yes.
I think we'll have a rotation of receivers. I think we'll use our tight ends a little bit more than they do. I think we'll use our offense a little differently, but I do think we'll put up the same numbers on offense that they did last year as a team.
Alex,
Okay,
finish it out.
but his offense last year was predicated on big play, talented wide receivers.
Again, you did not watch. I know for a fact you didn't watch the video. Watch the video. We can talk about it another time.
Alex, finish it out with your prediction. And we'll jump
I'm not.
back.
Yeah, we'll talk about this another time.
What's your game prediction?
I don't think we're going to score as many points as everyone's saying. I don't know. I mean, I'm going to go with 30 to 17.
30 to 17. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Worse than last year.
What's up? What?
No, nothing. Continue.
Yeah. Anyways, I don't know. I think the offense is just going to look a little rusty coming out. You know, the whole year you thought you were going to have Journey at running back. You know, you lost your best wide receiver. I just think the offense is going to look a little bit rusty. It is nice that you have the offensive line continuity coming back. Defensively, I think we'll be fine. I think that I think it'll be 30 to 10, and they'll maybe get a garbage time touchdown and force it to 30 to 17. I mean, the last 2 years we've won by what, like 5 and 6 points. I don't know. It was one touchdown games the last 2 years. It's in Indiana, so I don't know. I'm going to go to 30-17. I don't think we're going to hit the over.
Yeah, so that's a good point about the last 2 years.
The defense is going to let up 30 points, and I don't think the offense is going to score 50 points.
Everyone's talking about the last 2 years as being a very close game. So you look it up. Last year we win by 7. That's the week right after our loss to Minnesota. Obviously, spirits are down. Of course, you take every week at its own. Every week is the Super Bowl. You treat it the same. But, of course, coming off a loss sucks. Year before that, when we won by 5, was coming off of consecutive losses to Ohio State and Michigan State. So I don't know. Take that into account.
You also got to worry about, hopefully the team's not overlooking this game, looking forward to the next game.
Of course.
I mean, you always, you're focused on, like you said, the game at hand. But
who do we got with
Ohio State?
That's not to say Ohio State is in the back of everyone's mind.
Never heard of them. Never heard of them. You mean Ohio?
Yeah.
Ohio University in Miami? Is that Ohio?
That's the one. Yeah.
I think this year allowed them to be ready. I think this year allowed them to be ready.
Let me wrap this up with the prediction. State 09 going at it in the chat. Said Kane going to ball out. 42-27 State. D takes a half to get their act together. State 09, you're the MVP here. My pick, I'm drinking some of the Kool-Aid that they're giving me about it being a close game. And also I just needed Indiana to score enough to hit the over. So my prediction is Penn State 38, Indiana 24. A lot of points. I don't think they actually scored 24, but like I said, I needed it to hit the over. And there's probably some fluky things. It is the first game in a weird offseason. There will be some rust. It'll take some time. But all of us have Penn State covering the 6.5 and quite easily. So I'll drink to that. Let's go State. I'm excited. I expected thunderous applause there, but that's fine.
No.
Alex looks like he is streaming from a Nittany Gardens apartment. That's pretty funny. Alex is actually in sunny Southern California. Tony, where are you at? Are you in LA or are you back in the Bay?
Yeah, I'm in LA right now. That's just the only background I had.
Nice. Brandon, you are in Atlanta?
Yep, Atlanta, Georgia.
Pat, LA as well?
Yes, sir.
And your boy holding it down in the Big Apple City, New York City.
Big Apple City.
It's from a movie. I can't remember. All right, so let's
call it New York.
Yeah, so let's get into some topics. This will be technically the after show. That was your preview. 28 minutes. We stuck to our guns. Good job, guys. 30 minutes or less. This is the after show. Let's do some topics. So Tony, you talked about it earlier. Will we have a 1,000-yard receiver? Was that the question?
Yeah, we could say 1,000 because that would basically break up to like 100 a game or something like that. So give or take.
Yeah.
How many games is it?
8 games plus the 9th in championship week. Every team is playing, so technically 9 games. So let's not say 1,000 yards. Let's say will someone hit 800 or 900?
Yeah, I would say like 700. Let's go 700. Let's go 700-yard receiver.
Okay. Yes or no?
I mean,
Tony?
if we're buying in on our new OC, then I would love to say yes. But at the same time, I don't think Cliff's gonna do it.
Ooh,
So,
I
no.
hate the negative vibes, man. Come on.
Hey, listen, I'm a realist here. I think
appreciate the
I think we're
honesty.
gonna I think we're gonna rush for 1 billion yards this season, but I'm not sold. I haven't been sold on our passing game since Hackenberg. So, oh god.
Since Hackenberg.
So yeah.
Oh,
You were
God.
sold on that?
Jackson,
Yeah.
Freshman year,
baby.
Hackens,
Yeah,
Hack's
I'm talking
freshman year, baby.
I'm talking about freshman year Hack when
Fair enough.
he was like
Projected to go number
feel
one
like-
overall.
Okay, so let's call it this. Receiver, yes or no, 800 yards. Tony, you're saying no. Who do you think the leading receiver is? Not Fryermuth, not tight ends and counted. Actual receiver. Who's your guy?
I'm gonna go with I think I'm gonna go with Jahan.
Yeah. Brandon, next. Do you think we have a guy averaging 100-yard plus a game? And who is your top receiver?
I don't think averaging 100 yards plus a game. I think too much has to go right, and I think with the RPO that Soraka runs, I don't think that's going to happen.
I don't even think anyone did that in the Big Ten last year.
Well, what are your 1,000-yard receiver guys? What are they averaging?
It was Tyler Johnson. Tyler Johnson, Rashad Bateman, the guy from Purdue, Bell, and
Yeah. So
What?
how many games are they?
but that was like in 13 games, and I think that the most anyone had was maybe 1,100 yards.
Rashad Bateman, 12-19.
Yeah, and he played in.
Okay, let's call it like
Played in
even if not even 100, call it like 70, 80 yards. Like
Yeah,
I'm looking at our
exactly.
games and it's like our
100-yard
teams
threat
are.
every game.
It's like I'm looking at our like the stats and it'll be like our receivers 2 catches 30 yards, 2 catches 20, 2 catches 50 for like 7 different people. So it's like, is there
I
going to
don't
be
think it'll
some
be
guy
that.
who's like 4 or 5 catches for 80 yards? That's what I'm talking about. Like more of a
That's your number one.
consistent. This is the guy that we're hitting. Yeah,
I
exactly.
think CSB is going to step up for that.
Yeah.
When he came in at the beginning of last year before he got hurt, I know it was only onesie twosies, but he was always in the right spot. He was catching everything, and I mean, like it was 10 catch, if that, at the beginning of the season. But I really like what I saw out of him. He was second string last year, so I really do think he'll step up and make that jump, especially with Danny George.
Cam Sullivan, Brown, Love. Pat, yes or no to that guy over 80 a game? And who's your top receiver?
I'll go yes with Jahan. I mean, he was pretty dangerous last year in an offense that really highlighted KJ and Pat Fryermuth.
Yeah.
I think he's going to have a chance to shine. There's no one proven around him other than Pat still. I think he can do it.
Love
I think
it,
that's a
Alex.
really good point.
Parker
Yeah.
Washington, I take it all back. Parker
Don't
Washington.
steal
And
my
I totally
thunder.
forgot about him.
Don't steal my
That
thunder.
man, he is. He's
It's
there.
my turn.
He's there.
It's my
He's
turn.
there.
Parker
We muted
Washington,
Brandon.
a.k.a.
We muted
State
Brandon.
Nine.
Let's use the button.
The
Mute
first view of
everyone.
the program.
Muting everyone. I'm doing it all.
Thank you. All right.
I just
So-
wanted to see if the functionality worked. Alex, Parker Washington.
So no, I actually was going to say Parker Washington, and the only reason I say that is, I thought we saw. I mean, Jahan Dotson was the number one option for a while last year because KJ was on and off hurt throughout the year. So you did. I mean, not like badly hurt, but he wasn't 100% last year. So Jahan Dotson, I mean, he was a fine receiver. I just don't know that he's going to get much better than he's shown last year. Maybe he will, but I think that I really think everybody thought Danny George was going to be starting over Parker Washington, and the fact that Parker is starting, I mean, that's got to show something. So I think that it could be maybe Cam Sullivan Brown, but I'm just going to go with Parker Washington because he's a true freshman. He's starting, and that says something. There were a lot of reports at training camp that he was a huge standout. So
Yeah, the hot quote, the hot
but I'm still
soundbite.
going to go with it.
The hot quote soundbite is Franklin saying that Parker Washington has elite ball skills. So obviously you hope that he is just the guy in the slot because then that lets Jahan be an outside receiver and kind of see what he can be. I thought Jahan was going to be in the slot and it's going to be Cam Sullivan Brown and Danny George on the outside.
Yeah.
Who knows? So yeah, I have faith in this passing attack. I think we're going to see a better passing offense than we have in years past. You guys all know my gripes with Ricky Ronnie. I'm sure he's a great man. I'm sure he's a great family man. And don't like him as an offensive coordinator. Don't like him as an offensive coordinator. So I personally believe Shiraka coming in, Coach Hot Sauce, going to spice things up a little bit. Put that on a T-shirt.
As long as
I think
I never see a
guy.
fade. As long as I never see a fade route to somebody who is under 6 foot again, I'll be happy.
Whoa. Parker Washington can catch that fade at 5'10".
All my
Sure.
receivers,
Yeah,
That's
sure.
all I'm
all my
saying.
receivers are under 6 foot.
Yeah.
Well, then throw
No.
it. Then throw it to Pat. Then that's the only person I want to catching fades this season at the goal line.
That's what they say about Parker Washington too. Is elite ball skills, and he's built like a running back. He's like 5'10", 208 or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting. All right, let's get to the elephant in the room. The sad news: Journey Brown, undisclosed medical condition. Don't talk about insider info or the keyboard warriors will come for you. But it's it came out.
Wait, you forgot. It's Journey Brown, friend of the program.
Friend of the program.
Official friend of the program.
Man, I gotta say, listen. I think it's been really cool that we've had some players interact with us before. We've had some like retweets. We've had some shout outs. That was like a really cool moment for me last night. I was geeking out hard in my living room. Basically saw that he posted it on Instagram, just him kind of giving an update. He says he's feeling good. Can't wait to be back with his team. Nothing definitive, but it was nice to hear him talk and be in good spirits. So I saw he didn't post it on his Twitter, so I was like, all right. Screen recorded it real quick, put it on Twitter, tagged him. I saw him like it, and I was like, cool, that's awesome. He saw it. And then he retweets it a minute later and is like, won't let me post on Twitter, but here you go. By far our best tweet ever, like tons of engagement, tons of views, got some followers out of it. Thanks for that, Journey. But it was just really cool. Obviously a shitty situation, but cool to see him in good spirits. What did you guys take from that video? Did you take that as him just kind of putting on a good face, or is the optimism there that he may be back real? Pat, I'll start with you.
I have no clue. I mean, it was sort of a non-answer, but I think one that he can't just sit back and go dark, so he's got to say something. But there was no actual information in that in terms of what his future in this season or his football future in general is. Yeah,
Brandon, do you think yes or no? Do we see him on the field this year?
I don't know about this year. I trust what he says. It's his. I think it's his business. So whatever he wants to put out there is what I'm going to believe. But yeah, he. I don't know. Yeah, I'm on the same boat. Other than I trust what he says, and then just let it go from there.
Agree, Alex. Tony, anything to add on the Journey Brown topic?
Nah, I don't know. My heart would love to see him go ahead this year, but I would say it's a very slim chance that he comes back this year. And I don't blame him at all. I mean, with the shortened season to begin with, as well as, the whole COVID thing, I would just be shocked. But, I'd love to see him. And obviously, more importantly, I just hope he's okay.
Absolutely.
Yep, same thing. What year is he? Would he be able to go to the draft after this year?
Yeah, he's a redshirt junior.
Yeah, so he would be able to go. He would be able to go to the draft, but he also has a year of eligibility if he wants to come back. So it'll be interesting because obviously he has the talents to go to the NFL. He's been hyped up.
Do you think he would go if he sits out?
Do you think he goes? If he plays, I think it's guaranteed, and he's like a
no, yeah, for sure. If he plays this year, but if he doesn't play this year, do you think that he goes to the draft, or do you think he stays another year? Do you think he has enough on tape?
I think he has enough on tape. I think the challenge then becomes look at our stable of running backs and how well they play this year. Like, where does he fit in next year? Like, you have Noah Cain. I know, but Noah Cain goes off this year. Devin Ford shows a lot. You got the two freshmen, Keziah Holmes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think he's gone.
Journey looks at that and goes, all right, why not? Just go to the NFL.
I think at sub 4.4, he's gone.
Especially with all the other players, like skipping this year to begin with. You have so many players skipping this year that I don't think you need. I mean,
that's true.
I think the counterpoint to that, though, is running back is not a real highly drafted position anymore already. And how many teams are going to want to draft a guy who just didn't play at all at a position that most
I think that he has the advantage of the fact that he's fresh. I mean, look at guys like Josh Jacobs who never really played much, and they got high draft picks, and so he's not going to have
Miles Sanders.
But
what?
I said Miles Sanders.
Yeah,
he started for a whole year though.
Because running backs have a shorter lifespan, so guys want people. I mean, Journey wasn't even the feature back all of last year, so he's a guy that showed that he can be a feature back, but he doesn't have the mileage on him that some other feature backs do. So I think that works in his favor.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough. Obviously, like you said, hope he's healthy and hope he's doing okay first.
Yeah,
foremost,
that's
but
first and foremost.
It becomes a really tough choice. Like my hope is that it's something that just needs a little bit of time and he can play part of the season, show that he is the guy that we saw in the Cotton Bowl, show that he's
back for the Big Ten championship.
Thanks. That's the fucking positivity I like, Tony. Let's go.
Yeah. Come on, let's go.
Let's wrap up with the running backs. Obviously, Nova Kane, as I like to call him, because he numbs the defense, puts them to sleep. Obviously,
Put that on a t-shirt.
I'm telling you, man. Listen, put everything on a t-shirt. He's slated to be the number one guy. Devin Ford should be number two, and then both freshmen have a lot of praise. Keziah Holmes, a guy that is a bit more of a speedster. Kevon Lee is like 230 pounds.
A big boy.
Big boy as a true freshman.
He's Brandon thick.
What are you guys hoping to see out of the running back room minus Journey? What do you want to see on the field? Alex, I'll start with you.
Oh, I just want to see the Thunder Lightning combo, man. I mean, I feel like that's just what you want in the backfield. You want that Thunder with the Lightning. I want Noah Kane to bring the Thunder, and then I want Devin Ford to show that he can be the Lightning. Yeah, I mean, just somebody that'll run you over and isn't afraid to get the tough yards in between the tackle, and then somebody that'll give you that electric play. I mean, it would have been awesome to have Journey who can do both, but I really think Noah Kane will be fine. I mean, he showed, as long as he's healthy. Last year, he showed that he can carry the load. I mean, he had like 2 or 3 100-yard games in a row earlier in the year.
Yeah.
And then he got hurt, and that's kind of when Journey stepped up. So I think Noah Kane, as long as he's healthy, will be fine. I think that Devin Ford really needs to step up this year.
Agreed. Tony, what do you got? Running back room. What are your thoughts, hopes, aspirations?
I mean, I'm all in on Noah Kane. I remember when, like last year, watching him before he got hurt. I think I said this when we watched the games together. I don't think I ever saw him take like a negative play. It seemed like every single time, even if he was getting hit at the line of scrimmage or hit in the backfield, he always like at least got to the line of scrimmage or was falling forward. Never took a negative play. And like that's the kind of thing that gets me hyped. Like when you hit a guy and you just like the pile is still moving forward. That's just like, let's go. Especially when you're drunk at a bar, like that gets the juices flowing right there.
Yeah, he's a bruiser. He's a bruiser. I saw somebody on Twitter the other day say he's got a little Frank Gore in him, which I kind of like that comparison. Yeah, I like it. Pat, what are you looking for running backs?
I mean, I think everyone who watches Penn State football kind of already expects these guys to be, at the very least, efficient runners. So I'm hoping to see them be a legitimate weapon in the pass game too.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. I don't know. I didn't look at the stats. I don't know how much we saw in the pass game out of our current rotation. So that'll be interesting. State 09 says I want to see Keziah Holmes. I think we probably will a little bit. Brandon, wrap us up. Running backs, what are you thinking?
2nd and 5. That's all I want.
Okay. I like that. All right. I did not keep score. Obviously, you all get points at some point. So this is your chance. Parting words, any bold predictions or thoughts on the full season, anything we didn't talk about. This is your chance. And shout out to State 09 for being in here with us the whole time. I'll give you a shout out on Twitter. If you're on Twitter, tell me what your name is so I can give you a shout out.
His name's Parker Washington.
His name might be Parker Washington. All right, Alex, parting words. What do you got?
Is this for the season or the game?
Season. Anything you want to talk about? You got 30 seconds.
Ooh.
Go.
All right. I think that this is going to be. I think it all comes down to Halloween. I think that we're gonna have a relatively favorable schedule this year. I think that the big game is going to be the Halloween game. And I think that my hope for the season is that for at least a couple games, we get to have some fans in the stadium. That would be awesome. It's just a completely different atmosphere when you have fans in the stadium. So that's my hope. I love that they're doing a championship game for every team and that it's not just the top team from each division. They're going to line up 2 teams from each division and whatnot. So I think that'll be cool. Yeah, and I think Sean Clifford, Joe Burrow 2.0.
I love it. Joe Burrow 2.0. What a claim. I'm very excited for that crossover during championship week. I think that toilet bowl is going to be
I think that's awesome.
Like Rutgers versus Illinois.
Rutgers versus Nebraska or whoever. Yeah.
So we'll all be tuning in.
That's going to be ugly, but I like it. Tony, parting words, thoughts on the seasons, feelings, anything you got for the people?
I think that Kirk will only be our offensive coordinator for 1 year because our offense is going to explode and he's going to go get a job somewhere else.
Doesn't want a head coach job.
Okay. I was going to say, if he leaves for another OC, I'll be pissed. If he goes to head coach, I mean, comes to the territory.
I thought he said he doesn't want a head coach job, which is one of the reasons why Franklin really wanted him.
Yeah. That's what they all say. Isn't that when Franklin only hires like people he only hires people that don't want to be head coaches
to run his own program? What do you think he's going to do?
Yeah.
I mean, hey, it's worked out for Brent Pry for a while. He's gotten, I mean, albeit lower offers. I mean, he could have been that Georgia State or Georgia Southern or whatever the hell it was, head coach a couple of years ago. I would love to see Shiraka and Pry for the next 3 to 4 years. That would be really exciting for me.
For sure.
Tony, I love the optimism. Thank you for bringing back the good vibes. Brandon, parting words.
This weekend makes or breaks the season. I think this weekend sets the tone for us against Ohio State. I think if we don't win big, and I think if we don't look good, I think that'll carry over into Ohio State. I don't think we have any room to really learn this year. So either we're ready or we're not.
What question for Brandon? Who's your favorite quarterback in the Big Ten?
Justin Fields, come on.
Hey,
Get out of here. I don't care what anyone says. Oh my God.
Alex, do not put that on record on the podcast. Damn it.
Ooh, don't get me too excited over here.
Pat, parting words. What do you got?
I think there's going to be a lot of talk about us, coming into the season, potentially losing 2 of probably like our 5 best players on the team. And obviously that's devastating. Like you cannot replace them, individually. But luckily for us, both of these happened at positions where we are uniquely positioned to fill that hole. And so it's kind of turn upon a negative into a positive. And I think we can still kind of finish the same way.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I'm answering State 09. He asked Brandon, favorite or best? I said both. LOL, Brandon's been a Fields fan for a while. My wrap up.
I purposely didn't say best because that's
yeah. No, my wrap up is similar to you guys. I do think this will be my positive vibes putting out in the universe. I think we come out firing. I think this team has been so pent up for so long, as has everyone. But I think we have those dudes this year. We have those dogs. Like you hear all the time in the NFL too. People like there's that like favorite quote where the locker room's like, "Man, we just don't got enough dogs. We need more guys. We need more dudes." Like I think we have the dudes this year. I think there's a lot of guys that need to make a name for themselves. Guys like Shaka. Like Lamont, like some of these guys that are trying to make their NFL name. I can't wait to see them play. And I'm going to be very drunk this Saturday watching this game. I'll be doing some live tweeting, maybe some Instagramming. Follow us everywhere at No Names All Game. And also, first ever Big Ten touchdown survivor pool kicks off this week. If you are not a part of it, today was your last day to enter, so sorry.
Chris, are we allowed to enter that?
Oh, yeah, you're in it, Pat. I just assumed you were a part of it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so you and I are in it. I will lock in. I'm running it. I will lock in my picks before everyone else sends in there. So there's no collusion or anything. But first email will go out tomorrow. So we got 20 people playing. That's a $200 pot. Pretty exciting. Email will go out tomorrow with instructions. You guys, whoever's in, will reply to that email just to me. You'll be BCC'd. Don't worry. You reply to me with your pick. You get to pick a guy who is rushing, receiving, returning, no passing. That doesn't count. You're picking a guy who's going to score a touchdown. If your guy scores, you move on. If not, you are out. My only hope is that we don't lose like 70% of the pool on like day one. So please be smart, pick smart. How you guys feeling about the pool? Don't give out your answers, obviously. Tony, go ahead.
What's the over/under that somebody selects Journey Brown this weekend?
Oh God, it's gonna happen. It's gonna be so dumb too, and I'm gonna have to respond to that person and be like, "Hey, bud, that person is not playing anymore. Please change your pick." But I think we're gonna see. I think we're gonna see a lot of Penn State chalk. Like most people that are playing are Penn State fans, so I'm sure we'll see a bunch of Penn State players. I might try to be a little creative, go to another team, pick the matchups. Like this is $200, guys. There's a lot of money on the line. Okay.
Do allow with that.
That's it. All right. So thanks for everyone for tuning in. Thanks for listening. Follow us Twitter, Instagram, No Names All Game. And end it as always with want to know this week. We are.